Hi, can you hear me? Hello. I have attended a couple of Erlang Factory Lites in my life, and well, it was always the problem with the schedule, because the first talk takes like every single possible question, and the others just have to fit their talks into 15-minute slots after that. So I will do my best. I'm Pavlo Baron. I'm from Germany, so you will have to live with my real bad English. And I'm doing consulting in different areas, and I'm quite present in different communities and conferences. So consulting means that I mostly do politics and enterprises, like, well, let's skip it. I'm also hacking. That's what I'm doing actually for life and for fun. And I'm pretty prominent. If you don't know me, you should, because, hey, I wrote a book. Yeah. So it's a German book. Do we have German speakers here? Oh, really? You're the only one? So you have a book. So I will. That's awesome. So I'm doing. 100%? Yes, exactly. I'm doing Erlang for now 7 years, and I learned the most of Erlang while I've been writing this book, because I tried to cover, the whole breadth of tools and whatnot. But I mean, it's getting old even every week, because new tools and new versions are out there. So it's no problem. Basically, it's okay. It's readable and it's enjoyable, because I'm quite sarcastic, and I will do a sarcastic talk today as well. So it's about an experiment. The history of this one is, I went to San Francisco for the first time in my life. I went to San Francisco to do this Erlang Factory this year, and I'm sitting in the talk of Andy Gross, his principal architect with Basher, and he's explaining how Riak core works, or at least Riak components. It's not monolithic. It's built of components, and Riak core is basically has nothing to do with key value store. Everybody does know Riak here, or no SQL stores, and does anybody run it in production? Okay, you will run it in production. Yes, you're responsible for that. So ask him if you have problems. Does anybody run MongoDB in production? Oh, wow, cool. Okay, so I'm liking stuff into this. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm into this stuff, NoSQL stores, because Germany is generally like 5 till 10 years behind the development of everything. And there in this old Europe, we are, we are learning now NoSQL stuff, and I'm doing consulting based on NoSQL stores and different ones, including even MongoDB, including even Riak, and Riak is emerging thing there. So that's not the point. The point is that I'm sitting in this talk and listening to the component architecture, and just asking Andy if he's ever considered to use Riak core, which is a foundation for distributed systems. It's not about Riak or something. It just built great distributed systems with, well, possibility of weak consistency and stuff like that. Whatever you do behind the scenes, if you store data or calculate data, or calculate something, it doesn't matter. So I've asked him if he has ever considered to hide Riak behind a Mongo interface, whatever Mongo interface would be. At that point of time, I wasn't that sure how it really works between the client and the server on MongoDB. So this could be possible. He said no, he didn't. So I did it that night after 5 years. This Erlang factory in San Francisco, I lost half my health due to beer, so it has nothing to do with Erlang. It's just great guys there. Okay, so what I did, I just hacked down a first ugly version of this thing, so no tests, nothing. It's just like the idea is to have, MongoDB client speaks with a server, or with a process, speaks a wire protocol. So the wire protocol is a TCP/IP-based implementation there, and they are doing pretty much of piggybacking stuff, combining packets and then even combining commands to be executed on server and all that. So I just started to do queries and this as the first step. So the idea is any possible MongoDB client would connect to Riak without knowing that that's Riak. So it would just speak its own protocol and get a data out of it and write data and all that. So that was the naive thinking there. So I've started to hack it down, and at one point of time, as I came back to Germany and I was lagging like hell, no sleep at all, and just somewhere at 10 p.m., I'm sitting in front of my laptop, and Creston Torup, Creston Torup here in this room, everybody? He's just, okay, he's pinging me on Skype and saying, hey, dude, it's a nice project, let me participate. And I'm like, wow. I mean, Creston Torup is, he's the god, so just so you know, he did this experiment called Erlang. It's a JVM-based virtual machine for Erlang, and he's like hacked it down in a couple of nights. So just so you know, this is another leak. So I'm deeply impressed and saying, okay, yeah, feel free. I have this code out on GitHub. Basher drummed up some business for that, just for fun, It's a nice idea because, well, a little competition is fine. And, well, so I'm just very slowly hacking something, being real tired. And a couple of hours later, Creston pings me again and said, hey, dude, look at the result. I'm just looking at it, and it looks completely different. So he just changed the whole code base. Completely. Well, the implementation was real ugly. I mean, I didn't invest much time into in design and stuff because it was after 5 beers in a hotel. So I just kept on rolling, and he's just completely. He tried to reuse the Bison library from the Erlang driver of MongoDB. So Bison is the binary JSON they use there, and he just gave it up and then just. Back engineered this stuff and re-implemented it the way it should go in Erlang. And that was the good foundation to go on, because during the next 2 weeks, I didn't have sleep at all. Because every single evening, he's pinging me and saying, hey, dude, I have a couple of hours to go here, so let's check it out. And I'm like, oh my God, I just need to keep step with him. It's quite impossible, but I need to try it. So I'm traveling a lot. I've been hacking on the train, in the airport, in my bedroom, and stuff. What was not very impressive for my wife. And well, after a couple of weeks, we had a result which is okay and can even go on. But well, the first initial fun was gone. So we are just committing new code every now and then now. So that's about the history. And exactly, why would we do it? I mean, there is an official reason for that, which you can read in the README file on GitHub of this repository. The official reason is somebody who has stumbled into MongoDB accidentally, maybe. Like, somebody who has real data problem of whatever kind, like having to distribute it and being able to build on weak consistency, but to have reliable writes and stuff like that, and who needs consistent hashing if you want, to replace nodes on the go. And if you just have picked Mongo because Tengen has good marketing department, and and they can sell it into the customer as well. So you will just pick this product, and then you say, "Oh my God, no! Maybe I should go for with something different there." And this could be one reason to support your migration strategy. So you would have lots of code written against, this Mongo driver, and using JavaScript and JSON, all that. And the idea is just to support migration, the soft migration. So you don't need to break the world. You don't need to change the world. You just need to just to check it out, to learn a little about Riak. And Riak is very much of operating this system. It's not having a great programming interface. It's pretty simple. It's a key value store. On the other hand, you have a document database, which is much richer concerning the scheme. And it operates on JSON, which is absolutely, well, it doesn't matter what the value will have for Riak. It just absolutely doesn't matter. So if it's JSON or Bison or whatnot, it just doesn't care a lot. So this could be the idea. Another idea, it was just a side effect. We have realized that during the implementation, we used the Mongo shell. It's a JavaScript shell, to talk to the MongoDB, and we just realized, hey, it's a nice shell for Riak, because you can just store data, you can query data and whatnot, and it's a little bit more comfortable than what you would do in an Erlang shell, talking to a Riak client. But it's a side effect. Creston liked it very much. I have no problem with Erlang at this point. So yes, but some unofficial reasons might be, for example, something like this. It's in, I guess it's, what is it? Sorry? So, everybody sees this? Can you see it? So, just to connect to the previous speaker with shitty code. I mean, when I write a comment like that, I'm not really sure how much experience I would have. Yes, because, I mean, it's not big enough here, so. Okay. The other one would be like, it's a little bit more complex because I had to go through the whole code and to understand how it works in order to map it to Riak. So it's like util, it's absolutely terrible to type here because the angle is so wrong. Util net message board. So another reason would be stuff like that, for example. Yeah, so it's like, if length is that, then I'm sorry, I'm not bashing. It's open source. It's out there. So it might be a problem with confidence if you build on something like that. So we might even support this process of migration. And yes, we would help it. And yeah, so these are the reasons for all that stuff. Magic numbers are very popular in this code base. Just have a look at on GitHub or that. It's like everywhere magic numbers, and they are kind of related to each other, but it's not very clear how. So as I told you, what it is, it's like it's basically does everybody here do Erlang continuously? Yeah, well, okay. So well, it's like we have in a Riak node we have an additional OTP application running in the same node, talking to Riak through the local client, and so it's you can have this application on every single Riak node, and you just don't break the logic how Riak distributes stuff. And the client could connect even to any of those nodes and speak with them. And yeah, so it just listens on the port and translates the stuff that comes in, translates into, Riak commands. By the way, another reason concerning the distribution of MongoDB is like, just read under config servers. It's something that you need when you shard. And it's like, you only can have 1 or 3 of them. You can't have 5 or 7. at least you need an odd number. That's the basic theory of a distributed system. But why the fuck would I need 3 of them? Why not 5? I mean, if I have hundreds of nodes, why do I have so few config servers? I have no idea. There is a book about scalability of this store, and it says, like, don't ask why. You just need 3. Okay, so just not to break the schedule completely. What you already can do with this stuff, I just show you the README. You can even connect to this Riak node through the wire protocol using the shell, the Mongo shell, and you just can fire some commands here. The Mongo JavaScript shell is very rich, so it translates it into commands that are real rich, so they can carry many commands even within a single update, for example. So there are some problems, of course, in mapping this stuff because, as I told you, Riak doesn't care about what is in there. So you need to do some translation. If the command comes in and says increment within the update, increment one number, well, what would you do? Because what is number for Riak? It's somewhere in the value, so you need this logic somewhere there. And also the stuff with count, for example, if you start counting items, it's not the only way to count it with db things count. You can db things find something and count. So to do count, we need to go for MapReduce in Riak, and even then, if half of the nodes are kind of, have gone, so you will get just some count of stuff there. And it's even weakly consistent. The problem here is that how do I test it? I mean, it was a question for the previous speaker about testing. The test here is I'm just doing sparse checkout from MongoDB. I'm just getting one single directory there containing JavaScript tests, and I'm just running one test after the other. And when the test is through in screen, it's okay. If not, I need to test something. So there are 300 or 400 different count variations there, and I'm like having only one right now. It's pretty difficult, and the problem with count is, for example, it just writes 1,000 records, and it wants to count 1,000 records. So if something in the middle sucks, you will get like the half of it, and the test will fail. So that's some problems there. But anyway, it's yeah, it works, and some things are not really easy to be implemented. So why would I do this? Oh yeah, okay, roadmap. I promised the roadmap. We are running a product in our company, and we are one of those who have decided to pick MongoDB accidentally. So we will migrate it to Riak. I think by the end of this year. So this will be the test for me to, if I'm fast enough, I will provide the whole implementation or everything the guys will need, so they can check out how it works and can experiment with them with this, and then I can switch to Riak step by step. So why this talk? It's not directly about Erlang, but what I've learned in these years is to trust into products written in Erlang if they are written well, if there is a company behind it. And for example, things like Riak and Riak Core can be even used much more than just for this key value store. And it's just about trust. I've also written shitty code in my life, really. Everybody did. Or is anybody here around who didn't?
I still do.
Yes, I'm proud of it.
All of mine is crap.
Yeah, well, we all do this. It's no problem about that, but you don't, I mean, I don't market this code explicitly. Maybe I just want to hide it and I don't even open source it. Anyway, for me, I trust products well, prominent products from the Erlang community. I'm building right now a pretty interesting solution that I will introduce on one of the next conferences, big conferences. It's like doing big data stuff. You know, everybody knows about big data. Does anybody know what it is? I don't know it, and I'm writing a book about it. So, I still didn't find how to describe it. So I have 200 pages to describe it. So this will work. Anyway, so it's like having something that typically is being implemented with Hadoop, but real time and all that, without one single code of Java code, line of Java code. Yes.
The best explanation that I've heard was you can have unlimited resources to calculate the answer.
Yeah.
But I need it in this amount of time.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so there are very many different perspectives on data that can be big. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, sounds reasonable. Yeah, sounds sensible. So yes, so I'm just using products like RabbitMQ and Disco. If you don't know about them, just check them out. And I put them in a chain, and I have a Riak as well, and I put them in a chain where it just makes sense, and it's just for this typical use case there. And I just trust it, and I will anytime pick it again. And for this one, it's just an experiment to learn something. I just wanted for the first time in my life to write a TCP/IP server, a real good one. But well, Creston did it in 3 hours, and I didn't have a chance to do so. So maybe I need to wait for the next time. I will not definitely not bring it on GitHub, because Creston will kick in and say, "Hey, dude, I want to participate." I will never say no, because he's God. So thank you very much. It's just like fun. Thank you for listening. So if you have any questions, maybe we should do it afterwards. Is it okay? Because I only had 30 minutes. I guess I have a lot of time. Great. So here you go.
Okay, how bad is performance stuff?
Well, it's MapRed. Yeah. So it's
Unusable?
it depends. If I have 300 records, it's okay. But well, I mean, I wouldn't do big data with MongoDB as well, but never mind. The problem was that after 3 or 4 days of hacking with Creston, we just realized that using MapRed for different things just sucks like hell. Because I mean, I need to MapRed everything on every single node just to get it and just to analyze this data. I mean, just runs JavaScript stuff against it, and querying is like filtering out stuff. And well, it's not that good, no. Maybe we will invest something, but we would have to go for the core there, some extension. But we have not discussed it yet. It's it's not the standard product. I just wanted to have a standard Riak behind the scenes. So for not performance tests, but for functional tests, it might work. Count is my biggest problem right now. I need to talk to the engineers in your team about a problem I have, where the client just drops me and just doesn't give me enough records back. Any other question?
You mentioned you're looking at Disco now.
Yes.
Do you have enough of a sense to compare Riak, Disco, maybe a couple other things you're familiar with, just in a sense of what you would use them for and what their strengths and weaknesses
Sure.
are?
Sure, I'm a big Python fan, so that's why I picked Disco, so I can run my Python code there. I'm Python fan for one reason, because very many scientific things and natural language processing libraries and all that are implemented in Python, so I just can reuse stuff that smart people have implemented, people that are much smarter than me. And I wouldn't compare Riak and Disco. Disco is a classic MapReduce framework, just to run jobs somewhere on some data or whatever sort of data. You don't even need to have this DDFS underneath. You can do something different. Riak is, for me, Riak core in first place. It's a ready-to-go foundation for distribution. It works. It's a open source implementation of Amazon Dynamo, and it has its, it just has its place when you have use cases like you need reliably to write reliably and to read maybe. That's it. So they have different purposes for me. But anyway, any store today, even Microsoft Access, I bet so, will have MapReduce implemented sooner or later. So whatever. Excel would be nice. Okay? Any other question?
Yeah, so when you were talking about implementing the Mongo queries, you made a statement about like some of these represent several commands that get sent to the back end. Do you mean that they batched up, or one of these decomposes into like several primitive operations that the database has to process?
Well, they have increment, they have decrement, and they have stuff like that. But this is basically what you see on the screen is just JSON.
Right.
It's just having this data in. It doesn't work to have increments and decrements yet, if this is the question. I didn't implement it yet.
Okay.
Because well, right now we have no sense for data for JSON in there. So we just try to work with counts and whatever we can find.
Oh, sure.
There is a projection there that you use there to find something, but it's basic stuff. It's no, it doesn't calculate anything. It doesn't compute anything.
Because for that you'd have to use MapReduce or like
Yeah.
pre and post hooks or something.
I anyway need to do MapReduce here.
Can you attach this to, I got two questions in one question.
Okay.
How interoperable is the data you write with the interface to an existing data store that's got JSON documents in it, or how consumable, and also how consumable are the documents that this writes into Riak by a Riak client that's not using Riak Mongo?
So we are storing Bison. We are storing Bison as encoded as this. So there is encoding application Bison and application JSON, both is possible. So this is actually being stored behind a key. The key is the ID, the same ID that MongoDB would use. If it comes with it, or if it doesn't come, we generate one. And so you basically can query it completely without Riak Mongo. So you have the data in there. Was this the question?
So if you're stored as Bison. So if you know it's Bison and you connect with another client that doesn't use your library, as long as it understands Bison, it can consume it.
I didn't think about it yet. I only thought about having having MongoDB data store as backhand behind Riak. So I could access through Riak. I could access existing Mongo data, but I'm not sure what it would be good for. To what you are suggesting right now. What would be the idea behind it?
If you have a data store that is used by more than one client, so
Yeah.
you're not in complete control of the entire system. You can't dictate, use Riak Mongo to access this data store. You might be able to dictate our documents are JSON, and if you can find them, then you need to read them with, like, is it a standard JSON? I've never used JSON, so I'm guessing it's a standard of some kind that other people can parse and generate.
Yeah, it's binary encoding for JSON, but tensor came up.
Yes, it's just binary encoding. So it's binary representation of JSON. And well, to answer the question maybe from the consistency point of view, it's you can ruin it, of course, if you just connect it and start deleting it. It's disruptive and it's destructive. I mean, and it's also you have no transaction or something like that. So it's just, well, the basic MongoDB transaction is a joke. So it wouldn't use this. You need to simulate it in the code somewhere, and this you would do this with Riak Mongo as well. But yes, the data is in there. You can access it. You can do whatever you want with it, and it's not controlled by a layer of something. So it's just, you can use Riak means to ruin it completely. Yeah. I mean, even my tests are just, I'm doing it using Riak client. I'm just connecting to it and then querying it without my own implementation here, just to see if the data is correct in there. So, I mean, well, I'm done. So we can chat a little afterwards, okay? Thank you very much.